This episode is going to be different from other episodes because I did not realize my mic was not recording the entire time. I filmed 2 episodes in a row, that way I could sort of get ahead of my recording schedule for the summer, but I totally didn't have my mic recording, and in this first episode, my connection to the server continually gets lost, and I have to re-sign into the whole thing. But that's okay because now I get to put the 2 episodes together, and hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining to watch. So first things first, we have saved Wedge, and now it's time to chit-chat with him. He says he's really grateful for everything that we've done and for all the help, but he really just wants to find his best friend Biggs, and if we could be helpful and do that by asking the people around if they know where he might have gone. So we speak to the lady who's in the room with us, and she says she's not really sure where he could be, but there is a cave nearby, and maybe he went in there. This cave is really pretty, and I really enjoyed the environment, but we do just have to stand around and wait with all the little plasmoids in here to see if Biggs is here. I think honestly, if I'm having to stand right here in this purple smoke, it means Biggs isn't here. Just these monsters I have to attack. I go back and tell Wedge that Biggs wasn't there, and he says that that's okay, but if we could please just ask one more person and see if Biggs is somewhere else that somebody knows about. So we go up the ginormous flight of spiral stairs to speak to this guy who says that he might be elsewhere in the snow, but to be careful because he fell and broke his neck there, and I thought that was wild because how in the world can you break your neck and then now you're just like fine? Like how long ago was this? I mean, that's crazy. We do end up finding Biggs, and he is surrounded by Imperial forces, of course, and he is giving the good fight. Thankfully, my friends Ishtola and Ida are there, so Girl Squad, activate. We are going to help Biggs get out of here, and we do it fairly easily. After that, Biggs thanks us for saving him, and we are all very happy that we can finally reunite them and that our group is finally growing a little bit bigger. But of course, Biggs has been out in the cold for way too long, and he is kind of on his last legs, so we need to quickly get him back. And then we get this lovely reunion between Wegs and Biggs, and it is so fun. They're absolutely adorable, and I thought it was really cute. Plus, they get to reunite with Sid, their bestie, their mentor, and that's also really cute. It's so exciting to see everyone reunite, and that is why I'm even more excited to finally get to reunite with my friends if we can finally move on to that quest. Thankfully, Sid says he kind of knows a guy. He kind of knows where our next steps need to be, and we can all move there as a squad, as a team, and we will be going to a new place out of the snowy environment into somewhere else. This somewhere else is Mordanis, which is absolutely beautiful. I love the purple pink sky and all the crystals on the rocks around here, and how it's a cute little city with even a little sign above the entrance. I thought it was absolutely adorable, and I really enjoy the music as well. I love the vibe, but I'm sure you can tell based on the squiggly red line next to my name what is about to happen to me. The server connection was lost, and this is where I thought I was ending the episode. I should have been seeing on my OBS that my microphone color was not moving at all, which means that my mic is not on or connected. I don't like that OBS does that. Sometimes when it updates, it just totally cuts off your microphone, which is not super helpful to me because I just like to open up OBS and record, but you know, you do what you have to do. And thankfully, I was able to voice over in the editing software I use. And so, although it's kind of choppy because I don't like to perfect my recordings, I think it's more fun when there's mistakes and you're just, you know, improving your way through it. It was okay. And I ended up filming a second episode right after this. As you can see, I even filmed the intro for it and explained that last episode was rough, but this one would be better, even though I didn't have my mic on. So in Mordanis, we meet this guy who says, yeah, it's fine if we do this. He knows some guys who can help us, who know more about the Empire and how to get into their defenses, because we realize the best way to go through is through the front, impersonating Imperial soldiers. So our next step is to find this guy, talk to him, and see how we can sort of get disguises. Talking to this guy, he wants me to do a few things. It's sort of fetch questy, but you know, that's how it is. First things first, though, we need to make sure our friends are actually in that location / alive still. So I end up at this sewer grate, and I hear that they are alive, and that they're currently, I'm not sure if they're being tortured, but they're not being treated nicely, but they're not talking either, so. Then I go back, I tell everyone that they're definitely in there, so now we can move on to step 2, which is actually obtaining the clothes. But first Sid wants me to do this thing where I go check out the crystals. By finding these crystal spots, he will be able to jam their communications devices so that they can't communicate with each other. And that's pretty cool, but I didn't want to do all the fetch questy stuff, but in the end, I did. Next thing's next, now I can finally get to getting those disguises. Oh, but first, I actually have to learn the salute, because to impersonate them, you need more than just their clothes. So I just watched these 2 Imperial soldiers do a little salute, and I got it. Now I come back, and finally, please, finally, is it time to get those costumes? Thankfully, it actually is. I talked to this other guy who's friends with the first guy I was talking to, and he says, yeah, he can help me. He can even find someone to fix them up for me once I get them. So I just kill a bunch of these guys. And now I have their stuff, which is helpful. Next, I go to this tailor/armory guy, and he says he can fix the uniforms right up for me because it's a favor for his friend, and his friend is actually a really rich merchant guy who decided to be an adventurer and to help people out, and that's why he thinks this is a good, worthwhile thing to do, and he's not going to charge me a penny. Also, look at his hair. It's pretty cool. Then we finally have the costumes and everything set up, and I lure some soldiers by telling them that I need help with my squad over here at the giant crystal, but it's really just me and Sid ready to fight. Thankfully, they can't even call for help, and so we end up getting their machine. Then Biggs and Wedge have to come tell us if the machine is even salvageable, which, I mean, it doesn't look super salvageable, but they say it is in pretty working condition aside from the black smoke that's pouring out of it. We have to go back to Ulda to get a mammoth heart to get it to work again, and I actually get it for free because Alphino works his rich people magic, and then we get it working and I get to jump around in it, which was arguably very fun. But of course, it can't be that easy, and more Imperial soldiers come to check out, but again, their communication devices are down, so they just have to face us. And after that, our robot friend decides that we're friendly because we protected it from them. It doesn't talk, but it's my best friend. Then at the end, the guy who's been helping us figure out what to do this whole time tells us all the horrible things that have happened to him because of the Empire taking over his land, and it really just makes you want to fight the Empire even more. And I like all the world building they do with this. Even though it felt very fetch questy, now I know this man even more, and it makes the world so alive. And that is all that I did. I know this was very short, but next episode will be regular because we are going to save our friends, and I'm very excited about that, and I hope that you enjoyed, even though this was a very loosey-goosey episode because I had to rush together to get it for today. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye!